right, everybody, welcome in to an off-day podcast of the Cake Eaters Avalanche podcast. Today, we just kind of wanted to talk some analytics about the Avs and their upcoming opponents, which is why I'm wearing an Islanders jersey. Number 24, Scott Mayfield.
Who is the shit?
Yeah, exactly. Or just for him.
Should I pull up Scott Mayfield's player card really quick?
Oh, God.
Just for fun?
I have so many player cards.
Because, like I said, he is the shit.
He is, in fact, very good at hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I remember for a while there was some rumbling that maybe the Avs would try and get him, but not quite.
That's was not to be. They should still, though.
Yeah.
He's gonna probably want a lot of dollars.
It's very true.
Yeah, he deserves them.
He's on a solid contract right now, too.
Yeah. Basically, the only thing that holds down his WAR and his player card is penalties.
Yeah, good defensemen like that often
mm-hmm.
can find their way into some penalty trouble.
Yeah. I think the Isles just in general take a ton of penalties, though. So
that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Their style of hockey lends itself to just penalties on penalties.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's get into this. So something I have found very interesting kind of around the league is the zone defense versus the more man style defense. Now, no defense can be fully man.
Right.
It just doesn't work. Like, you got to have the personnel for it, right?
Yeah, you at least have one guy kind of straggling, you know.
Yeah, your defensemen, usually you're playing below the hash marks, but still, like, you kind of pick up guys as you go, kind of, instead of covering a spot, you kind of pick up your guy. And I feel like what I'm trying to get at here is a really good man defense is a lot better, in my opinion, than a really good zone.
Yeah, definitely.
But I feel like I lean more towards the zone defense just for like your average NHL team.
Yeah, you have to have, you touched on it, you need the personnel to play a man defense, and you need speed, and you need hockey IQ.
Right, which is why I think teams were having so much trouble last year against the Avs in the playoffs, because they would run this zone. They would run like this very, it was more man than zone, but it was like a hybrid.
Right.
Where you would see like a guy would come down, like say McDavid comes down, he's on the rush. Makar would just stick with McDavid throughout the entire zone.
Yeah.
Right. And then, McKinnon would mark his guy, whoever else was on the ice, they would all mark their guy. Where you see, like, even just in the Rangers game 2 nights ago, Cale Makar's chasing out to the blue line to defend when the Rangers are already in zone because that's his guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I just find it interesting because the Avs suppress chances so well with this like hybrid system, whereas like other teams struggle to get the puck out of their zone, even if they're not allowing tons of chances.
Yeah, they're just chasing rather than
right. That's kind of what a zone does, So where I'm going next with this is Vegas. Peter DeBoer, he likes to run a man defense, more of a hybrid system, right? And you saw it work a couple years ago before Vegas got old, right? And even then, it still didn't do a great job. And now you get Bruce Cassidy, and he has implemented a full-on zone, and it's working really well for them. So that's kind of the team I wanted to look at.
Yeah,
for this kind of debate, I guess.
I can get this up really quick. Just give me one second.
So it's working. It's working really well for Vegas this year. So that kind of goes back to personnel.
Right.
This Cassidy zone, it's really you saw it against the Avs. They can struggle to get the puck back.
Yeah, they definitely struggle at times.
But they, even in the first period when the Avs were shelling them, right?
So here's Vegas 5v5 defensively. They're
It's
heat
really
map.
good. Really
Yeah.
good.
There's a little bit of red in front of that net there, but otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, -8's really good. So
Right, -8.
this is kind of the thing I'm getting at. Look at all the red around the perimeters. Look at all that blue in front of the net.
Yeah,
It's
they
kind of
keep
what the
everything to
zone
the
does.
outside.
Yeah. Whereas, I haven't looked into this, but I feel like they would be probably on the higher end of Corsi against per 60, just because of the way.
I would guess so.
Just because of the way, they're allowed to give up perimeter shots, but the quality just isn't very good, and they do a good job clearing their net. So this is what I'm getting at, like system changes for Vegas. The zone is working a lot better than DeBoer's man, and that's just interesting to me.
Yeah, there's they have been under 50% in half of their games so far this year. Corsi.
Yeah.
50% exactly in one.
Mm-hmm.
61 in their first game of the season, 56 against the Blackhawks, 50 against the Jets, and then 53 against the Leafs.
Yeah. And
they
so it's interesting, right?
34% against the Flames.
Right. And that's kind of what the Bruins looked like last year under Cassidy, where they would
not a lot of possession.
Not a ton of possession, but man, they did not allow much quality at all.
Right.
So I just find Vegas very interesting. Compared to last year, you see that -8 right there. Let me really quickly pull up last year's for VGK. I know. So remember in 2021 when they tied the Avs to the President's Trophy?
Right.
Their 5v5 defense wasn't that great. They got lucky with Fleury. Yeah, so last year
Fleury was really good for them that year.
Yeah. So last year it was dead even. It was -0%. So
bang average.
Yeah, dead average. I believe the year before it was average as well. It was actually +4, so it was worse than average. The year before that, when they tied for the President's Trophy, they just had
really
they had 31.8 goals saved above expected from their goalies.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of fool's gold with the DeBoer Golden Knights.
Yeah, people really were all in on DeBoer's, but it was mostly just Marc-Andre Fleury.
Right. And now you see they just don't give much up with this zone. And if you go to their offense too, they're creating a ton offensively. I think this zone has allowed them to breakouts are easier. Obviously they're not retrieving.
22%.
Right.
That's
they're not
nuts.
Retrieving the puck quite as well as maybe they used to, but once they get it, you kind of saw their transition game against the Avs.
Right.
Really start to pick up, especially when the Avs got tired. And it was like, yeah, you can totally see why this would work for them. So that's that's just the team I wanted to use for this debate.
If we look at their high danger chances for, they only got outchanced in one game so far this season. It was that Flames game, and they were at 17% high danger chances for percentage.
Yeah,
that's so
they
bad.
got smoked in that game.
But yeah, the rest of the year, so they had 62% against the Kings, 67 against the Blackhawks, 59 against Seattle, 77 against the Jets.
I believe they edged the Avs as well.
Yeah, 63 against the Avs.
Yeah.
And then 63 against the Leafs, and then average with just 50 with the Sharks.
So yeah, it's been good stuff. Not the possession team that DeBoer wanted them to be, but that plays to their roster. They're older, they're slower. Teams that are faster want to have the puck more. Teams like that, you want to play more opportunistic hockey and not give up a bunch of dangerous
play
stuff.
like the Oilers or the Rangers, but like good at defense.
Right. Exactly. They protect They protect the middle of the ice in their own zone. That's what the zone is designed to do.
Yeah.
And you can even tell, like, they're not, just watching them in that Avs game, they're not totally comfortable with it yet. But
Yeah.
once
It's
they get
something
there,
that takes an adjustment period.
right? Once they get there, man, I think that's a scary team. I don't know if they're a cup contender, but
Yeah. My only question is, do they have I mean, obviously the zone, but like, how do like injuries and, how
yeah,
sustainable is this creation of offense? Because,
hmm
like I mentioned, all these opportunistic teams tend to have a lot more speed on their side, and Vegas doesn't really
yeah.
have that. They have Eichel, and that's kind of it. And he's not even really the fastest player in the world.
No, it's just a lot of IQ on that team. Um,
Yeah,
I think it's just a good, solid hockey team. I don't think it's great,
and we
but
also have to see, like, the zone defense could work, but can Logan Thompson,
yeah, he's been really good to
right?
start the year. Just their goalies in general. I believe
Him and
let's see, they already have 5.2 goals saved above expected through 8 games, I believe they played. So it's good.
yeah.
Um, and their finishing is average. So it just feels sustainable to me, like this level of success for them with the
It
zone.
could. I
hmm
I would not be
Whereas the
surprised.
Avs, like you watch the Avs hybrid man thing, it works for them. It's been a little loose to start the year. Um, I think that's just
You know,
I think that's just the new guys getting used to it.
yeah.
Um,
Well, the new guys and just getting back up to
yeah,
speed
yeah,
with everything.
because you see the guys who have already been here are, you know, fine at it. They've been fine, and the
Right.
guys who are new haven't looked great with it yet. So,
Yeah.
but
I've definitely noticed.
The
Yeah.
Avs defense, it's minus 10% at 5v5.
Yeah.
So
Let's take a look at their.
yeah, it's been good at 5v5. The Avs defense. It's been the
Yeah.
offense that's
Minus
been the
ten
issue.
percent.
Yeah,
That's really good.
really good. It's been the offense. So
Yeah. So let's take a look. Now we can move on. Look at this offense.
yeah,
Minus
minus
nine
nine,
percent.
not good.
Not too hot.
No,
Yeah. This
and the
big
giant blue
blue.
circle. Yeah,
That's bad. That is very not good.
no, it's not good. Um, I think I think this has something to do with the combos they're using up front. That's what I want to get into a little bit.
Yeah. So this is, to me, this comes from a few different things. Obviously, Alex Newhook and Evan Rodriguez taking a while to get up to speed. Um, Kind of Landeskog missing just a little bit of, like, a lack of offensive, like, offensive talent. Obviously, I think I don't have a problem with any of the Avs lines. It's mostly just scoring ability.
Yeah,
That
I think
that
I
really,
think it has to do with getting to the front of the net. Has been
yeah.
a bit of an issue so far.
They, I God, can you even think of, like, a rebound goal they've had this year?
No, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I mean, so you look at the top line they've run so far. It's been Lehkonen, McKinnon, Rantanen. Lehkonen does the dirty work. He gets to the front of the net. He's just not the most skilled guy,
Yeah, and he's also not very big,
and
so
he's
he
not
can't.
big. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then McKinnon and Rantanen. I mean, Rantanen's huge. He just refuses to. Sometimes he refuses to use his size to his advantage
yeah,
and get to those dirty areas.
and well, yeah, and with guys like McKinnon and Ranson, they've become so accustomed with playing with a guy like Gabe Landeskog that just does all that for them that they
Right.
just don't.
Right. Which is why I I just think you gotta split them up. Um,
I would really like to see a line.
mhm.
We've seen it a few times. I'd like to see McKinnon, Rodriguez, and Lehkonen.
Me too. And then you put Miko with Newhook and Val. And
I
Val's
think,
just your defensive presence on that line, the play
yeah,
driver.
and then Miko can maybe help give a New Hook the boost in
Miko,
offense.
I feel like Miko and Newhook would work really well because that's
Yeah,
just skill for Newhook to play with.
Right. Yeah.
And then McKinnon, he just plays with so much power when he's on his game that you can totally see those other two just like feeding off of that power and that line.
And this was kind of like my theory with Nathan McKinnon is just put whoever you want next to him. You saw it in 2019. He kind of could just generate offense out of anybody.
He was playing with Matt Calvert and Jonas Donskoy, and he was scoring 2 points a game. Like,
he was absolutely cooking.
Yeah. So, I think it would benefit them to split that up.
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah, they don't work the best together at 5v5, and they never have. So, I mean, we saw it last year, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like they need Landeskog with them if they really want to work super effectively.
Right, exactly. We saw it last year when it was McKinnon, Rantanen, and Burakovsky. That line scored so many goals, but they gave up so much on defense, right? And then you shift to the playoffs, right? And McKinnon's with Nichushkin and Landeskog, and they weren't giving up anything, and they were driving play.
Yeah.
That line had an issue finishing, which is, playoff hockey. But then you had your second line with Kadri, Rantanen, and Lehkonen, and man, that line was so good. That line chewed Tampa Bay up.
Yeah, that line was really good. Even everybody was just it was like a little mini three-headed monster, I feel like.
Right. And you have Burakovsky on your third line with Comfer and Abe Kubel. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It was just an embarrassment of riches up front last year.
It was. I would like to see. I'm surprised Bednar hasn't tried splitting them up yet, to be quite honest.
Dude, I think Rodriguez would work so well with Nate.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about those two that I feel like they work well together.
Mm-hmm. And obviously we know Lehkonen and McKinnon work. So. Right. Not the most skilled guy, but they feed off each other pretty well.
We can get into.
Yeah. So this is the thing. They're scoring enough goals. They're just not generating a ton.
Yeah.
So,
eventually you're going to run into a really hot goalie.
Right, like we saw against Shesterkin.
Yeah, they definitely could have won. Finishing was actually the bigger problem in that game, to be quite honest, than generating chances. But kind of similar to what we just touched on, they did have a problem. They weren't really getting any second chance opportunities, any rebounds.
No, it was one and done. And that has to do with getting to the net.
That's something that I think Rodriguez definitely helps with on McKinnon.
Right.
He gets to the net.
Well, you see it. So look at their finishing. It's all red in front of the net. And you see on the ISOs, it's all blue in front of the net. That means when they're getting chances there, they're going in. They're just not getting chances there.
Right.
So, man.
Yeah,
got to get more.
It'd be nice to see Bednar, kind of try and play with his hand a little bit.
Right.
See what works a little bit better, but it's not. I don't know.
Because you see it, right? Like the team speed is still there.
Right.
They're still the fastest team in the NHL. They still come at you in waves. Kind of what we've heard. That's been the thing. That other teams talk about the Avs. They come at you in waves. They just don't stop. You still see it from shift to shift. You do. It's just not clicking. The execution. It's just not quite there.
Lot.
So
there's a lot to be desired, and obviously I kind of touched on maybe that fourth line gets a bit more offense, when they're on the ice. Which
I am not expecting a ton of offense from the fourth line, but you look at those guys and you're like, these are guys that all should be together. This combo should be playing in the right end of the ice, and that's what you want to see from a fourth line.
Right.
You want to see them playing in the offensive zone.
And they're not going to be like a Cogliano, Helm, O'Connor line where it's just going to be like they're just going to have to cycle the puck to death and hope to get a rebound.
No, there's more skill on that line.
Right.
To where you can generate stuff.
don't play them ever. So
Right. Well, and especially if you put Taves and McCarr out there, because the defense has done so much of the heavy lifting on offense. Like the defense has kind of been like your middle six that has been struggling so far.
yeah,
And
it's just kind of
that's
been
also why I
frustrating.
think the finishing is higher than the expected goals, is because the defense shoots from far away.
Yeah, you could see there's like some spots. There's
Yeah, and they've scored a lot of goals off of tips so far as
right.
well. So
But obviously you could tell there's one timers.
yeah, one timers and the power play as well. They've been
Yeah,
very lucky on. So
that's where. Well, I don't know about lucky, but they've been really hot.
I would say lucky, because if you look at the fancies on the power play, I did send those to you, so you should have them.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's they're not a dominant power play for whole 2 minutes. It's kind of like the inverse of the penalty kill, where they're doing fine, but they just have this one moment where it's just perfect play, goal, there you go.
Yeah, I also I wonder. I'm just gonna look. I think this is probably the best way to take a look at.
30 minutes.
Okay, so it actually power play offense with McKinnon. So McKinnon is the guy on the power play.
Right.
With McKinnon, it is at -3%, and without, it's at +3. So really, I can look at Miko's really quick as well, but that to me suggests that the second unit has better process. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rantanen's is the same. So that to me suggests the top line is
Because of the three
cashing.
defensemen. There's not enough defensemen on the first power play unit. You need more defensemen.
Yeah, I mean that'll change too, because last year's power play was super awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's just one of those things, it's going to start, the process is going to get a lot better, but they're not going to get the goals, and
right,
it's just something that evens out during the
yeah.
year.
Last year was +13, the power play, and I'll take a look at Nate's power play really quick. Yeah, it was +33%
Yeah.
with Nate. So it'll get better.
And
So,
Landy is also a big part of that power play.
but the finishing will also go down as well. So
Right.
I do think this power play can
Eventually,
sit at 30%. I really do. I think it's that good.
Valerie Nichushkin is going to stop scoring a goal again.
Right. But I really do think the power play can sit at like 30%. They have that much talent. So.
Right.
And I think Cale Makar's going to start scoring.
So. Right. Obviously, that's the other thing. It's Gabe Landeskog whenever Cale Makar decides that he wants to score some goals.
Yeah.
But yes, so now we can flip it over to the penalty kill.
Yeah.
Not great, Bob.
As we've expected. It's not good. Last year,
this is a lot. These are the two places where you really don't want this.
Mm-hmm.
But here it is.
Yeah, last year it basically looked the exact same that it looks right now.
Yeah.
So they run this PK to where they
kind of started
don't cover the front of the net.
They kind of started that triangle plus the triangle chaser thing. They've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, it started last year.
And you notice, so what they do is they pretty much just have Cale and Taves along these dots, and they kind of just move like you're playing bubble hockey, just up and down and up and down.
Yeah. And they lose guys in front of the net a lot. And it's a systems thing. It's not a player's thing.
Yeah, it's not like they're
they're leaving a guy in front of the net open on purpose. We saw it against the Rangers. It was okay.
Terrifying.
Do you want to cover Chris Kreider in front of the net, or do you want to cover the seam pass to Panarin, or from Panarin to Zibanejad?
Right.
You want to cover the one-timer, or you want to cover Kreider? And when they covered the one-timer, Kreider was wide open in front, and when they covered Kreider, the one-timer was wide open. And it was just like, man, can we just run a tight box here? Like, can we cover both of these?
There is a way to cover both of these things. Did you know that?
Yeah, there is a way, and they just
Or do Blake's favorite shape of diamond. That covers all things.
they just were too stubborn, and it was scary. So,
It was
but
scary.
I
was
do
freaking
think,
out on Twitter.
yeah, you were. I do think they're really good at denying zone entries. They just are on the
Yeah.
PK. Like
I
Josh
mean, just in
Manson, that's a
general.
specialty. So,
Right.
yeah, in general, like Devon Taves, Josh Manson, Cale Makar's not as good at it, but those two,
Right.
Taves and Manson, they're always on. One of them is always on the ice on the PK. They're really good at denying zone entries, and the forwards with their speed are as well. It's just kind of when the other team gets into the zone, it can get ugly. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
not a huge fan of the PK.
Yeah. Definitely. We saw a very similar. It started off bad. It did. It got better. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how Devon Taves' side of the ice is purple and the other side is
Right.
orange, brown, whatever. So
coincidentally, this is also Eric Johnson's side of the ice.
Yeah, the Manson Taves side is good, and the Eric Johnson Cale Makar side is not. Who would have thought? So,
yeah,
I do think Makar has been fine on the PK, but I would, I don't know. I would just cut EJ's minutes. Man.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe Bleau on the PK a little bit more.
I would run Beau and Manson on the PK. Maybe even Gerard Manson.
Right. Yeah, Gerard's not.
We've seen Gerard on the PK. It's not that bad. It just isn't.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good at it.
And Beau, we've seen small sample size this year, is pretty good. He's been pretty good at it. I think you just roll Taves Makar. That pairing is just so good. I think you use that pairing on your PK as your best PK unit with Cogliano and LOC, and then you use your better forwards when you use your Nichushkin Lehkonen combo Makar / Byram and Manson are there. I know they're gonna stick with EJ, but man, it's been ugly.
Yeah, it has not been great with him. But we've touched on it before. He's a slow starter.
Traditionally, yeah. Last year,
he needs to get those old legs up and running. Get the hangover.
Yeah.
Over with. But now we want to touch on the teams that the Avs are going to be facing this weekend. Obviously, I alluded to that with the Islanders jersey. But yeah, we'll take a look at the Devils, who the Avs play tomorrow. You're gonna kind of be surprised, maybe, with how good this team actually has been playing.
So these have been on Twitter today. They're getting a lot of attention, but New Jersey is plus 39 at 5v5 offense, which is really good. It's the best in the league, to my knowledge. Yeah, it's crazy pants. They're generating chances like crazy. They are really good at 5v5.
Look at all that. Look
it's
at all
crazy.
That red. Man. There's barely any blue on this ice.
It's crazy. So, I mean, you kind of expect, like, they have so much talent up there. And
is this the Ryan Graves zone, or is this the Ryan?
That's the Ryan Graves zone, and you can tell because it's very red. He does not pass. He shoots. He just shoots, and it doesn't go in. But
as long as it doesn't get blocked
twice.
Great. Now I made myself sad.
Don't get me started on that, dude. I'm glad he's gone. Anyway, just can't be doing that.
Just like Ryan Graves.
Let's look at the defense, though. This is more impressive to me because, like, you can see New Jersey with the firepower at 5v5 on offense. This is what's impressive to me.
Look how it's so dark purple. It's almost red. Look at this. It's nuts.
It is. It's incredible, and you could kind of see this coming because they've got Dougie Hamilton.
Good decor. They've got Hamilton.
Dougie's not a defensive guy, but you pair him with Graves, who is a decent shot suppressor. You pair him with Severson, who's good. Marino is
It's
really good
really
at
good.
defense.
Siegenthaler.
Siegenthaler, really good at defense.
Yeah.
You can start to see why this is happening. And I don't think it'll stay like this just because their forwards aren't traditionally known for
Yeah, their
defense.
forwards
Like the
aren't
guy,
really going
yeah.
to be.
But I can see this staying at like a -10 throughout the season.
Yeah, also that's the
Totally.
other thing. -36 is nuts. I don't know when the last
Yeah, it's
time
crazy. Yeah, this is small sample size heaven right here.
Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
pure just madness.
So hopefully the Avs, well, and their saving has been what's been betraying them, because theoretically you have these numbers, you should probably never lose.
Right.
But Mackenzie Blackwood has either been really good or really bad, no in between.
Yep.
He started the year off, he got a ton of goals dropped on him, and then he went 3 games in a row where he was elite, and then his last game he played, he got a ton of goals dropped on him. So they've given up 21 goals at 5v5, and they've only been expected to give up 14.9. So they 6.1 saved under expected.
Yikes.
So not good. And their finishing has been subpar as well.
Yeah,
so you
obviously.
Kind of start to see why the record is not undefeated.
It's all about execution, you know.
Yeah. Well, their system has been working great. This to me just says they have to punt the whole goddamn game.
That's why you're not gonna fire Lindy Ruff.
No. They were chanting fire Lindy when they were dominating games, and Mackenzie Blackwood or Vitek Vanacek were letting in softies. So yeah, gonna be a fun one against these guys.
Yeah, it should be
I'm excited to see what they look like. Yeah,
I hope it's a fun game. Not sure exactly what to expect, so we shall see.
I don't feel great about it, just because I don't know, they're just good.
Yeah, it depends on which Mackenzie Blackwood you get.
True.
Mostly.
Yeah. So
yeah. But now we can move on to their next opponent, the Islanders.
Yeah, the Isles. So the offense, we kind of expect it to just be
about this
average.
Is, as you could tell, the defense is doing all of the work.
But it's about par for the course for these guys.
Right.
You don't expect
all their
the
talent
Isles
is on defense.
Right. Yeah, you don't expect the Isles to be an offensive juggernaut at 5v5. So -3, about league average.
This isn't their problem.
No.
Their problem is this.
This is not what the Islanders' defensive chart should look like.
Ever.
Yeah. I mean, so Lane Lambert, Barry Trotz's right-hand man. Can't imagine his system would want to be too different than Barry Trotz.
Yeah, I have a feeling it might be an execution problem.
Even just last year, man, like their defense wasn't any good. It was +8 last year.
Yeah, I think it's just getting to the point where that just kind of style is just not effective in the league anymore. There's just too many teams with skill.
Right. The year before it was -6 with Trotz. So 2021, their 2 conference finals years, it was -6 and -5. So I don't know if it's like a players issue where they're like just not bought into that whole thing anymore, or if it's just not working anymore.
Yeah, it's God, the only thing that's keeping them like really competitive so far has been Sorokin.
And Varley. Varley's been good too.
They're goalies.
So
goaltending.
Yeah. That's been it. They're saving, if Hockey Viz will load. Their saving has been, they've got 9.5 goals saved above expected.
That's a lot. So far. Is that the first?
Yeah.
Is that the first?
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. So, Not great.
Glad I have Sorokin in fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pick.
And that's why he's going to win the Vezina. My other.
No, they got to make the playoffs for him to win the Vezina. And
Maybe. Yeah,
if their charts look like that, nah. Nope. Not making the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. So, probably not. But we'll see.
Yeah.
They were off to a slow start last year, and they kind of figured it out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They gotta really like gas up those old legs, just get them going.
Yeah. It's such a weird team, man. They've got these young, skilled guys.
They're They're probably one of the weirder teams in the league, I would say.
They totally are. I mean, these young, skilled guys have like leashes on them, so that they can't.
Matt Barzal
young
can
and
be
skilled.
like a 90-point player, but
dude, he oozes skill, and he's got really good IQ. He just has a leash on him. Beauvillier, Wallstrom, all these guys. Dobson kind of had his breakout last year, but even then, like,
could have been even bigger.
Amazing. Yeah, he could be. I mean, if Noah Dobson played 24 minutes a night like he deserves, I can check his player card really quick. Yeah, dude. Noah Dobson, great play driver, not the best defender.
Right.
Good on the power play, great finisher.
And that's why he doesn't get the minutes, because he's not as good at defense. And that's all they care about.
Right. I mean, you pair Noah Dobson with Adam Pelech, man. Split Pelech and Pulak up.
I don't know. I don't know if you could do that, though.
But
they're so good together.
Adam Pelech's one of the best defensive defensemen in the NHL, and Ryan Pulak
is not a slouch, to say the least.
Not the greatest defensively, but you put him with a different guy, Romanov. I feel like that would work better, man. Because Dobson, like I said, they just have these leashes on these young guys, and they give the old guys the reign, and the old guys just aren't any good anymore.
Yeah, they're just not good. It's just not. Like,
Josh Bailey never shoots.
He scored a goal last night against the Rangers.
It wasn't really a shot. He just kind of like tipped it in.
Hey, any chance I get to sing, hey, Josh Bailey, ooh, I want to know how you scored that goal.
Not by shooting. He doesn't do that.
Yeah, I don't get to sing it very much anymore.
Brock Nelson doesn't look very good so far.
Brock Nelson hasn't looked good in a while, man.
So
he has his flashes.
Yeah.
Oh, but Josh Bailey's playing his 1000th game tomorrow.
Interesting.
So that's
good for him, man.
For him.
So I think as well, I'm also going to look. I'm going to look at these two teams' schedules. I believe the Isles are also going to be on a second half of back-to-back.
Well, if they're playing tomorrow, then yes.
Yes. Oh,
that's how that works.
Oh, yeah. I just don't know for sure.
Yeah, they're playing the Hurricanes in Carolina. What the hell?
So they travel, yeah. Yes. And then the Devils are rested. Okay, yeah. I still don't know about this goalie thing. It's at the point where I just don't really care.
Your guess is as good as anybody else's.
I just give Georgiev to the second half, but that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I really like with the big layoff afterwards. I don't know how much they really even care.
Yeah.
Do they just want to play him against New Jersey and try and just ensure they're trying best opportunity at 2 points, or
right? That's a good way to look at it too. I have no idea. New Jersey's clearly the better team, so
right, and that's it. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, you just hope that Frankie doesn't do what he did last time they played the Isles.
Seriously, dude. Yeah. So I don't know.
And obviously, if you want to see our other takes on this, you can look at our podcast from before the Rangers game.
Yeah.
We kind of previewed this whole road trip.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Just some analytics today. I did want to end with some fun Vancouver stuff.
They've
Their
had
offense,
enough.
their offense is minus 13,
Stop.
and their defense is only plus
They're
7.
already dead.
Their defense is only plus 7,
That's
and
not that bad. Not
their
great though.
finishing is average. Thatcher Demko.
What
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, I don't
What
know, man.
happened?
They've got 8 goals saved under expected. Their power play is anemic, and their PK sucks. So, and they're old.
And that's how you don't win any hockey games, kids.
Yeah, this is how you suck.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's so funny. I didn't know.
Oh, right. We sorry, continue. I'm just
Quinn Hughes' name in Hockey Viz is Quentin Hughes. That's just
You
funny
didn't
to
know
me.
his name's Quentin?
I did. I just didn't. I just thought they would put Quinn into Hockey Viz because that's what he goes by.
That's true.
That's funny.
It's a little funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, one other thing that we wanted to talk about was Jean-Luc Foudy. That gets kind of gross. Future
He's
Norris
got
winner.
7 points in 5 games.
He's going to be testing Cale Makar for best defenseman on the Avalanche.
Shut up.
Sorry, I meant Francouz. He's going to be
Maybe
the next
Jean-Luc Foudy. Maybe Jean-Luc Foudy was the 2C we've been looking for all this time.
Maybe. Dude, he's so good. He's so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, he
didn't
still,
have a great preseason, but
yeah, he kind of looked invisible in the preseason a little bit, where he was defending a
you
lot.
saw him go
and
quiet a lot. But when you saw the
wasn't
flashes, you were like,
right. He wasn't playing with much skill in the preseason either.
yeah,
He was kind of just on like he was playing with what's that guy's name? Scott or whatever. Never heard of him. Yeah, that was his last name.
Just Scott.
Scott, that guy. Yeah.
Scott,
Just Scott, man. And that guy sucks. And so, I'm just excited.
Yeah.
Really good pick.
It was funny. I saw this tweet. Someone was like, all right, well, at this rate, he's making his NHL debut before Bowers, and then Bowers scores a goal.
Well, Bowers has been really good too. So, I guess
the problem with Bowers is that they put him on the third line wing. What the fuck?
He's been getting power play time though, so I don't mind it. But
yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna play him on the third line, play him at center. Everybody knows Smallman is not very good. He doesn't need to play at center. Play him on the wing.
Yeah. But man, JLF.
Hot and spicy.
He's giving me the prospect tinglies. Where you got him with Makar when he was at UMass and he was putting up 1.5 points per game. You got the tinglies. You're like, wow, this guy's gonna be so good. You got it with Byram when he was scoring 30 goals in the WHL for the Giants. It's like, wow, this guy's gonna be so good. I got the same thing with JLF.
Yeah.
7 points in 5 games.
I do, since we're on the prospect talk, I do want to touch on Ivan Chigulov. He
looking really good.
Been really good. Yeah. And not often do goalies do really well in the O.
Right. Especially like
got a 938. He's got a 938.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goddamn nuts.
Yeah.
Dude.
So Sean Barons as well, 3 points in 6 games for DU.
Right.
So slow start for him.
Oh, kind of.
He was point per game last year, so
yeah. So I mean, yeah, slow start relative. I mean,
I guess he doesn't
have just in general.
Right. Doesn't have Bobby Brink on his left to rip those one-timers anymore.
Right. Well, it wasn't just Brink, dude. They had that entire first line. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the entire first line just went to the NHL this year.
Gutman, Cam Wright in front
Rizzo.
of the net. Cam Wright in front of the net on that power play, dude.
Oof.
It was dirty. He's in Utah now, but still.
He's in Utah.
Yeah.
Which is a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else we want to touch on? There's some hockey on right now. I don't think it's anything we really care about. I mean, the Wild are losing. So that's
happy.
Fun.
Gonna have some barbecue tonight.
Never mind. No, they're not.
Gonna have some barbecue tonight. Watch some Thursday night football. Just enjoying life.
Football.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
tired
good
of
one.
football.
It's a good game tonight.
Who is
Ravens,
it?
Bucks.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it'll end up being like 13-10.
I mean, this game's important, so.
Tom Brady's been really bad this year.
Actually, that's false.
He's been not good.
Hasn't
He
looked
hasn't been
great.
Tom Brady.
Hasn't looked great, but he's got 8 touchdowns to 1 interception. He has a lot of passing yards. He has a high rating. He's just not making those throws in the clutch key times of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of that is the fact that he has an
Right.
all-time great receiving core around him.
True. Well, and Leonard Fournette can't run the ball either. He's looked terrible. I
He
have
never
Rashad
does.
White. I have Rashad
Leonard
White.
Fournette doesn't run
So-
the ball well until the playoffs come.
True. I have Rashad White stashed just in case Lenny just gets benched because he sucks so bad.
Right.
But
My
anyway.
expert fantasy football play was picking up Calvin Ridley in my keeper league on the cheap.
Not expert.
That was expert.
PSA. If Wan'Dale Robinson or Kadarius Toney is on waivers in your league, snag them.
Yeah.
Thank me later. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
There's our fantasy football talk for you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna go have some GQ barbecue.
GQ.
Yeah, it's a restaurant in Park Meadows. It's delicious.
Oh.
And
right.
Watch some football.
You have fun with that.
I will.
We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one. Catch you tomorrow.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.